Welcome aboard everyone, Simon here from the Wells of Wall Street. Hope you're well. First of all, please do like and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already, and click that big thumbs up like button for this video as well if you found it informative. So let's go straight into the triple X crypto here, starting off with our biggest bag actually, to be fair, XDC Zinfin. So at the moment, we did a video a week or so ago about some potential corrections. Here we are, it's playing out, so it's kind of anticipated. So what are we looking at here? Well, there's a couple of things to take note of. So as we can see here on the MACD currently, as of recording, we are getting a very narrow gap here. So it's kind of indicating the bearish signal. But that's not to say that it won't bounce off and then start creating that gap again. So I'm just going to keep an eye out on the next 48 hours, especially when the Asian market opens up in around 2 a.m. Well, that's GMT 2 a.m. So it's obviously different times, different places. But certainly probably easier if I just said about 7 hours time from now sort of time. So let's see how we get on with that. And there's a couple of things here. I've put in some purple lines. So these are actually my sell orders that I put in. I just wanted to share this with you. It's not financial advice, and obviously everyone has their own different strategy. I did fortunately sell off around 0.1926, I think I got, and just about got it in. And I had a couple of buying points here. 2 have been ticked off, and I do have a small percentage back in these areas too. The reason I've put them there, this is very much price discovery mode for XDC at the moment. Of course, we had the big launch bit here, new all times recently. So in terms of support resistance mechanism, we've got like this sort of area here around 0.11, and that's only really been tested like twice. Arguably, potentially nearly did it around this mark 16-17, but it was very much rejected and bounced back onto the support line of 0.13-ish. So what I was thinking is that we may go back to retest that level before we go up. You just don't know, and it might make sense because you see here there's quite a big generative decline here over a good period of time, and that could suggest that we might tail off down into that area again. So you just got to be cautious, and just reiterate again, not financial advice, but always think about taking profits along the way. And similarly on the way down, if you are trading or you're trying to accumulate that way, do have some good solid strategy behind each of your crypto assets in regards to potential buy points on the way down as well. So if you've taken out a percentage of profit up this sort of area, or when the RSI is relatively high, you can then accommodate, let's say like it was $100 or something, you could accommodate percentages of that $100 at various intervals here, because what you don't want to do is go, oh yeah, I'll be happy up here, and then it all goes away down here. So try and be strategic the way you try and do it. Maybe 2, 3, I mean I've got 4 only because I put a really small bit down here, because if it does retrace down to that level, even that small percentage I've got available here will actually probably match what I accumulated around this potential buy point as a whole. So it'd be quite interesting to have a look at that as we progress. So we'll do an update over the next 48 hours of this chart on all of these 3 assets, to be fair. But we're in obviously a selling mode at the moment for XDC. But generally the volumes are still showing, albeit in red, are still coming in nicely for this one here. So let's keep an eye on it. I'm interested to see if we will break this support and go back down to this potential level of roughly around sort of 0.13, and also potentially to 0.11. Let's see how that pans out. But it could be that we just get some stability on this support line before we go up to the upside again and reach for the stars. I mean, imagine the scenes when we break the 20 cent mark. It'll be absolutely phenomenal growth over this year in general also. So like I said, we'll keep you updated. If anything critical happens within that period of time, we will jump on a video for you, no problem. XLM, similar conversation. Just get rid of my banners there. So we've actually had some good, obviously XLM is a bit older. We've had good support and test levels at various stages already, particularly around this kind of area here. So I do anticipate we might have some resistance to to the bearish mode here and start tailing and maybe moving upwards. But that's not to suggest that we might test this area again just from a short-term perspective before we start steadying off and rising again. So all I'll say is don't panic on any of these assets. It's very much a good thing. Corrections in terms of health of the asset and true actual value at this point in time. So everything's obviously kind of hyperinflated as this period goes on, but actually the real price might be lower than what we see in the charts. So this is something to consider. Absolutely, I'm not buying XLM at the moment. I'm not selling either. I've got them in my ledger, happy as they are. But I will be buying when we get some decent drops. That's not a problem. Or taking profits from other assets into this if needed, because I do believe in these three being gigantic fundamentals. From the RSI perspective, we are bang on pretty much the mid channel here. So it's very much which way are we going to go? Downwards or upwards. Obviously we're in a downward spiral at the moment over the last sort of up to 7 days or so. So we've got to keep an eye on that. And the MACD is showing a bearish mentality here as well. So keep an eye on that. There could be some good buy opportunities for XLM, potentially at 0.32 areas, and arguably to potentially test that 0.30 again before we go back to the upside. Because of this growth here, yeah, that's quite a substantial amount of growth pattern from, what is it, 26 to 39, nearly 40 cents. So it's very much under double. So it's understandable that people want to take profits, missed out, accumulated, took profits again here because they perhaps missed these opportunities. And then we're seeing exactly the same pattern. So I wouldn't be surprised to see 32 cents potentially being aimed for before an upside. But anything can change in this space, so just keep an eye on it. And like I said, just be strategic as possible on your buying and selling if you are one of the traders. If you're an accumulator, it doesn't really matter. You're just going to accumulate at the lowest points you can possible. So just touching up on XLM. So on the week, as mentioned, we are in a bit of a downward spiral, 10% negative on growth or reduction in that case, but still up high on these ones. So Stead has been quite quiet, other than the MoneyGram announcement quite recently. Of course, that's sometimes a good thing because it means that, albeit it's quiet, it's still working. Trust me. So, this will be one of those ones that accelerates in the coming months, and you go, wow, I wish I got around these areas. I've done that many times. So keep an eye on that, and we will do an update, of course, following on from that as well. And then finally, XRP Ripple, one of our favorite bags again. Again, loads of different support and resistance lines already kind of touched upon throughout the year. So don't again be surprised to potentially try and come back down to this 1.5 cents, or even touching on the $1 mark to test those areas again before an upside movement. But I am anticipating here some good positivity here because we have done this little wave, very good stability sideways for a good 7 days so far. We might get another week of that before an upside movement. And of course, up by that point, you're looking at very much the high ends of the dollar mark. So that would be fantastic to see, absolutely. But yeah, if we can just get this support line confirmed and close above these kind of lines at sort of 112, 114, we should start seeing good stability for an upside again. RSI similar to XLM. Again, it could go either way. The signal is bearish on the MACD. So that's why I said about potentially hitting back down to here to test it and then drive up again. But it's very much a battle right now. We're only early in this 24-hour period here of the crossover. It can quickly switch back. So let's keep an eye on that. And as I said, for all three, we will monitor the situation closely. It's quite interesting that XLM and XRP have gone in tandem of around about 10% drop for the week. But you've got to look at the bigger picture. I mean, we've had a fantastic ride for the last month. You've got to admit, look at that. Absolutely fantastic. From 21st of July, let's just say that's about a month ago, 54% increase. There's no wonder we're getting a small correction here because people will want to crawl in their profits. So keep an eye out. Keep on the radar of potential further drop, but equally just anticipating some potential buy orders if you're a trader, of course, around these areas, all throughout that period of block on the fib retracement. But hopefully we'll get stability and we'll start moving up. Even just talking there, I think we've gone from red to green. So who knows what will happen? It's all about the close in the next few hours. Certainly for the London Stock Exchanges, then the American exchanges open from a stock perspective, traders perspective usually. And then of course the 2 a.m. usual frantic Asian market opens up as well. So there's loads of activity 24/7. That's why I love crypto. Every day is a challenge. Every day is a new video. We don't want to talk about always the positivity, things that happen. We also want to talk when it's red and give some potential guidance and just some opinions and thoughts on that. So hopefully you found this informative. Please do leave your comments below what you think of each of these assets, what you think your price predictions are, and of course let us know as well what kind of buy opportunities you've got in place for some of these. Really interested to know what everyone's different ideas and strategies are, and we can go through some of those in the next videos. So that leaves it there, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll have some more update videos on various chart crypto analysis in the coming hours. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.